guys, welcome back to my channel. I hope you guys are doing well, and today is a video that you guys do not see all that often on my channel, but Instagram told me that you wanted me to do this video. So we are, first I should say who we are. Jake and I are getting ready to take our kiddos over to my brother's house. They are gonna have a sleepover with their aunt and uncle tonight, and so we are going to be kid-free for the evening, which happens maybe twice, 3 times a year, so don't get confused that this is like my everyday life. It is not. But Instagram, you guys left a ton of questions when I asked if you had questions for my husband Q&A, and so we thought we would bring you guys along with us on date night and periodically answer the questions throughout the video. So I thought that that would be a fun spin on it. So if you sent in a question, you got to watch through the whole video to see what our answer is, because usually when we do Q&As we just sit down and we film them all in one shot. But this time I thought it would be kind of fun and different to bring you guys with us on our date night and then address a couple of questions as we go through. So that is what we are doing tonight. We are not going anywhere fancy so far. All we have established is we're going out to dinner. We're going to go to True Food Kitchen. We love the food there, and the fall menu came out even though it still is very hot here. So anyways, that is what this video is going to be, so I hope you guys enjoy it. I always love filming with Jake just because he's very funny to me, and if you have a sense of humor like me, then you find him funny as well. So we're gonna go through and we're gonna answer your guys' questions throughout date night, but first we gotta drop the kiddos off, so that is what we are going to do. Are you excited to spend the night at your uncle's house?
Indubitably. New word. It means very much yes.
Pillow, pug drawing, phone, pusheen, scrunchie, water bottle, backpack. How long are you leaving for?
A day? Less than a day, actually.
That's a lot of items. What do you think of Kylie's hair, everyone? Isn't it beautiful? She got a trim today too.
It's luscious.
Luscious. Children have been dropped off, so we are gonna start with 5 questions from the Q&A where you guys asked on Instagram before we even leave. Okay, my seatbelt so it doesn't ding the whole time. All right, so these questions are all questions from Instagram, and if you guys aren't following me over on Instagram, you should do so, and it's always linked down below. And Jake is not an Instagram husband, so he does not have Instagram. So we're gonna go ahead and start right here. Jake, what are your thoughts? Here's all the questions. Jake, what are your thoughts on COVID and time in quarantine?
Oh my gosh.
Is that a hard one?
I don't want to offend anybody.
Oh, well, I do all the time, so go ahead.
We're in the same boat if you've watched your channel.
Oh, you mean we have the same beliefs?
Yeah.
Nothing further to add?
It's a fake virus.
You think the virus is fake, or you just think that politics have hyped it up?
Overreaction.
Okay, don't drive.
Oh,
we're filming.
Keep going, okay.
5 questions.
I don't agree with shutting down people's lives. We're just trying to make it to 80.
Okay, so just so you know, you heard him clarify. He said, in case you didn't hear, that he knows that the virus is real. He knows that we probably had it when we got off the Disney cruise, but he believes that politicians are using it for their gain.
NBD.
Huh?
No big deal.
Okay.
Sorry if I offended you.
The next one is really nice. Just want to say thank you to your husband, back the blue always. Very nice.
Yeah.
Okay, the next one. Oh, here's another one. Just thank him for his service. Her brother is a police officer in California, and she prays for them all.
Hey, people are so nice.
Very nice. The next one. What is the biggest lesson each of you has learned this year? I'll start. For me, I feel like the thing that comes to mind first is just like being reminded of the lack of perceived control we really have, and learning how to cope with that, and having that bring up like triggers like from childhood. I've mentioned before, feeling out of control of my day-to-day life is like, I know in the grand scheme of things the Lord is in control, but like in control of where I can go eat dinner is like triggering for me, because I felt very out of control as a child. So I've learned how to navigate through a lot of that. And I've also learned how to find joy in the midst of challenging circumstances. And I've also learned how to be bold and not be worried about making people mad. Have you learned?
Yeah, where do you find hope when the world feels hopeless?
That's been your lesson.
Mm-hmm.
The next one is, what is the best and worst thing about being married to each other? I'll let you start.
The best and worst thing?
Yeah, so what's the best thing about being married to me?
It's not a very nice question on a date night for the worst thing.
It's okay, I can handle it.
Well, I mean, we've been together for a long time. For like the best thing for me is like my battle buddy through and through. You know, always supportive, relying on you. We take on challenges together. You're not doing this by yourself.
Okay, and what's the worst?
That you're my battle buddy and we do this. No, I'm just kidding. The worst, you're way more efficient than me. And I think you get frustrated when I just don't care. I just don't care as much.
That is such a job interview answer. Oh, tell me about a time when you handled conflict and you like spin it positively. Yeah. That's what you just did. It's okay, you can tell me what's bad.
But marriage is hard anyway, so it's not like...
You already told me that last week.
Yeah.
He told me what the worst things were last week, so they're fresh.
In the moment.
That's really hard. The best thing about being married to Jake is that he is definitely always makes me laugh, and he, I don't know, he's like the constant, the reliable, like I just always, like he said,
you can't copy my answer.
But I'm not copying it, but that is very important to me, is having reliability and just knowing that you're always there. And the worst thing about being married to Jake is that he is stubborn as a mule, and no one believes that he is, because he comes off as being very, very passive and nice. He is nice usually, but he is not passive. He is a silent ox.
Silent judger.
Okay, well, the next one here is, what is an out-of-the-box stay-at-home date night idea? It's her week to plan a date night. Well, we just went to marriage night at our church the other night, and they had a whole list of date night ideas, and we always feel like we're really slacking in the date night department too. However, when we looked at the list, we do all of the things. The only thing we hadn't done was create a bucket list together, and we actually talked about doing that tonight, just sitting down and figuring out like what are some things we really want to make sure we do in our lifetime together. So there's an idea for you.
My favorite too are like the adventure dates, like we went rock climbing.
Yeah, and adventuring is good.
Escape room was fun.
That was fun, but COVID, so save those for later. And the last question before we head to dinner, because I told you guys we were going to do this Q&A throughout the evening, is what are your personal thoughts on sheltering your children yet preparing them for the world? So do you think our children are sheltered?
Yeah, compared to most kids, but like we always agreed where you build the foundation first before they see the negative. So the decision's already made and the training's already happening. So when they do get exposed to more worldly things, they recognize that as abnormal and weird. So they just can keep on the straight and narrow path, not just bombard them with the worldly stuff before they're even prepared to even
handle it,
interpret it. So you build that foundation first, and then they're eventually going to grow up anyway, so why not keep them innocent as long as you can?
Yeah, I agree with that wholeheartedly. I don't think our kids are sheltered. I think we've protected them until they've reached an appropriate age to take on whatever they're taking on. I mean, we don't live out in the country. We live in a big city, and we're surrounded by sin every day, everywhere we go. And so that's, you know, that's everywhere, not just a big city. But what we've tried to do is we've tried to lay the foundation of what does God have to say about this first, and then what do we feel is best as parents second. And once we've established those things, like he said, then our kids are able to recognize things that are not truthful, things that are wrong, things that don't sit right with their discernment and their spirit, because we've taught them what's right before we let the world infiltrate them with every other idea that is wrong. So I think to the world our kids are probably sheltered, but they are very well aware of current world events. I mean, I've never heard more kids. He said the other day, he was like, do you think our kids are going to be conservatives when they grow up? Joking. And that's just the truth. They hear us talking. They hear it, they see it. There's no way to avoid everything. And we, you know, our kids have been in situations where they've had to say like, oh, we don't watch those kind of movies, or oh, we don't do that. And they've had to deal with the side effects of that. So I think to the world our kids are sheltered, but to us it's just all about age appropriate exposure and having the foundation to withstand the world's pull. So that's our thoughts on sheltered children. So now we're going to go eat. So we will catch up with you guys at True Food, where we will show you what the fall menu is. I'm excited to see. You know I love all things fall, and judging by Jake's sweater this evening, he does.
It's really thin. Like, feel it.
I bet you're sweating.
No.
Show the camera your armpit.
It's only sweating because it's 100 degrees outside.
Thinking that's the love of my life. Most handsome man I'd ever seen. I said, you must be the love of my life. Hold on now.
We got the chicken sausage pizza because on date night, calories don't count. And when you're at True Food, at least you know the ingredients are clean and good. Taking a tour of the parking lot
You walked
because you led me astray.
No, it was your idea to come this way.
Led me astray.
No.
It's okay. I had a few pieces of pizza. So while we wander the parking lot looking for our vehicle, we are going to answer the next 5 questions. Here they are. Who apologizes first?
Me. Or not.
You apologize first?
Inaccurate. When I can convince you that you're wrong, you'll apologize first.
I apologize first. Who is stronger?
Physically or emotionally?
Physically.
Is that even a question? I'm kind of like offended that it's even a question.
I think it was a joke. There's a smiley face.
Okay.
But what about squats though?
I had back surgery. That's not fair.
If it comes to leg exercises, I'm stronger.
I skipped leg day for 25 years. That's not fair.
True. He didn't really start doing leg day consistently until I made him a few years ago. We really don't know where our car is.
Who's physically faster?
Okay, the question wasn't about who's faster. The question was who is stronger. Upper body, no chance. Lower body, me.
But I'll bulge a disc just to outlift you though.
Okay. Uh-oh. His ego is challenged. What do we fight about most?
Kids.
Probably. What is our funniest moment together? Can you even think of one?
Being lost in a parking lot, not able to find my big white car. Which is happening right now.
Where did we park? We're around here somewhere. I think we're right down over here. Okay, so that is a funny moment. Jake and I have shared many of funny moments, but my favorite funny moments are the moments that no one else knows is funny except us, because we have the same sense of humor. Are we in this one or the next one?
No, because that was the valet.
Okay.
Maybe someone stole her car.
No, no one stole the car. That's always his first thought. Oh, it's over there.
Oh, there it is.
Okay. This is actually a really great question. Okay, first we'll do, with the walking, we'll do another easy one. What's your best advice for a healthy marriage? If you had to say one thing to have a healthy marriage.
Don't give up. Clear out your problem. You know, like, talk about it. Don't let it build up. And
So don't become resentful.
don't put yourself in ways to compromise your marriage.
Ooh, look at that. He gave me such a good segue. Because the next question is, do we allow each other to have friends of the opposite sex? Tell them.
I don't think it's a matter of allowing. It's just we both choose to not do that.
We're friends with couples,
Yeah.
like my friend Brittany, I'm friends with her husband. My friend Sierra, I'm friends with her husband.
Not taking Brittany out for coffee.
But
I like you, Britt.
one-on-one, it's just never appropriate. But you do have female co-workers, but you have to be friendly. But you wouldn't like text them in a time of distress.
Never.
That's where it's a slippery slope, guys. So we just choose to have very safe boundaries when it comes to that. And I think that that is really important, because the lines get blurred, situations get weird, and it's just, it's not good. So,
And men are dogs.
so
They say you're your best friend, but they're not. They're
Well,
just waiting to sneak in.
I mean, women are no better. Some women.
Guys are manipulative.
So are women. So anyways, we're friends with a lot of, not a lot, but we have couples that are friends, that we're friends with both people, but never one-on-one.
I mean, I'd be fighting if someone asked you to go out to lunch.
We found our car. That's good.
Yes!
So we don't know what we're gonna do. He wanted to get yogurt, but unfortunately their internet is down and they can't take card for payment, and so we'd have to go and retrieve cash dollars, and I don't know if it's worth that extra trip. So we can.
What buys me $5?
Do you want, I got $5. How many gummy bears can I get? You can get yours there though, with $5, I'm sure. But no way to know until you get to the register.
2 dessert trips.
We don't know what we're going to do. Does this happen to anyone else? Like when you don't plan an exact thing of what you're gonna do for your date night, then you're like, what are we gonna do? And then everything you do feels like way too simple for being kid-free. Maybe it's just us. So while we sit here, and now we're in our car, so let's figure out, let's think what we're gonna do. We'll answer a couple more questions before we head to our next destination. Let me delete that page. The next one is, how does dad make the most of his time with the kids? So how do you make the most of your time with the kids? Because obviously you have less time with them because you work.
Yeah, it's still full. I'm off weekends, so it's more like family time. But I'll get one-on-one time when I'm taking them to practice. And I make sure to, instead of like, I'll allow them on their phones while we're driving, and I'll just stir up conversation. Most of the time it's just weird stuff. Like, you know, one of the kids likes to talk about only Marvel and Lord of the Rings, but Kylie likes to talk about different stuff. And
good. Yeah. So seizing the moment when you are alone with them. I'm about to ask you another question.
Oh. But that's not like epic dad moment, that just fell in that place.
Yeah, that's just making the most with the time that you have, right?
Yeah.
The next question is, how are your makeup skills coming along?
I'd want a redo.
A redo.
And I know what each thing does.
But
to
that
see if
would
I can
make it
still do
not
it.
as funny.
Okay.
It was funny because you were clueless.
Yeah.
The next question is, how do we spend intentional time with each other on weeknights? Well, COVID time has been a little bit different because we have had more time together during the weeknights. Prior to COVID, you know, we were really going in opposite directions. And can you stop shaking the video with your thighs? We never really had time together, but I'll tell you what, he really likes my early morning school routine because now I go to sleep at the same time he does.
Yeah, it's nice.
So at least we go to sleep together.
Yeah.
Before we weren't even really doing that on his work nights. So how do we make the most of it?
Oh, we were sitting on the balcony last night.
Yeah, I have learned through the 15 years of being together to have very low expectations of what he's going to provide me on a work night. There's just not a lot left. And so he makes up for that on the weekends when I get undivided time, usually. Sometimes I have to make him, but to be quite honest with you, there's not a lot of intentional times during the week.
I stayed up late on like Thursday night because you were grumpy, you said.
Yes, I was angry and I needed to vent. You did, but then you fell asleep literally in 2 snores.
Conversation's over.
And I was raging mad.
We're done here.
Yeah, exactly. All right, the last question before we figure out what we're going to do next is, did you always want to homeschool? So I know you're gonna say you've answered this before, but there's like new people that start following and they don't know. So did you always want to homeschool the kids?
Yep, I always did. Ashlee was reluctant to homeschool, so I had to encourage her along the way. That's a lie.
Oh, he's trying to get me back for the influencer challenge. I was
That's a
sitting
lie.
there and I was like, wait a minute. Wait a minute.
That's a lie.
So what is it?
I was slower to wanting to homeschool because it's scary.
At the beginning.
Yep, and you think that you put them in a good school and they'll do the classic way, and you know, education falls solely on you. But since I don't do any of the homeschooling, I felt it's a lot of pressure to put on your wife to, you know. So if she didn't want to, I'm not gonna force her to homeschool. So it's more of like her decision, and I'll encourage her along the way.
But are you glad they are homeschooled?
Oh, I'm very grateful for it. Yeah, it's awesome.
Okay. So now he'll drink his water that he's been trying to unwind. He's extremely thirsty this evening because he has had his long sleeve on. What does that say?
I got a bad feeling about this.
And we have made our way through a lot of the questions, so we're doing really well. So we're gonna figure, you guys can't see me unless I shine my light on my face. We're gonna figure out what we're gonna do next, and then we will finish up our... We came for cookies, and they're closed. This one is almost as good as Disneyland's. So Jake's dessert choice went out, but I'm not mad about it. I got some Dole Whip, some vanilla, and some strawberry. What did you get?
Dole Whip, vanilla, and gummy bears.
Gummy bears, like a real adult. So while we have our yogurt, we'll answer a couple more questions from the Q&A. Jake seems quiet and shy in the videos. Is he like this in real life or just on the big screen?
On the big screen. I'm pretty introverted. It's definitely out of my comfort zone to be on video.
But would you say you're shy?
Yes.
You would.
Until I get to know you.
I don't think Jake's shy at
No?
all. Shy or just doesn't like a lot of people. So this is a good question. How do you feel about me sharing our life with the profession that you're in?
That is a challenging question.
How do you feel?
People with the difficult problems, I don't even think about them. To be honest.
You trust my judgment?
Yeah, and I don't need to be ashamed, you know?
Here's the thing though. I share very, very little. Very little. When it comes to stuff like that. Like, I don't post pictures. I don't talk about it really. And there's a lot that I don't say because of that, and you guys just don't notice it. So I'm very open about my feelings and very open about my homeschooling, very open about my journey on motherhood and how difficult it is. I'm very open about some of my political viewpoints and things as of lately, but there's still a lot that I am very private about, and that is one of those things.
Yeah, it's not even a topic.
No.
It's brought up, right?
Mm-mm.
I'm pretty sure my haircut gives it away.
Yeah, I mean, only the people who have been following me for a very long time would know about that, because it's not something that I share. But I also don't like the feeling like we have to live in fear and we can't talk about it, because what an honorable job, you know? So anyway, how do you feel? You trust my judgment or what?
Yeah.
Does it make you uncomfortable?
No, I don't feel comfortable. Because I think, for the most part, I think people do respect and like the job. I think the media portrays it as society doesn't appreciate it, but I actually think in reality, people do.
But I mean, they're being killed.
Yeah, I'm saying I would say that people who follow a homeschool mom, conservative
the
mom,
killers.
are not anti, civil servants.
That's true.
They're probably pro-military, pro-law enforcement, pro-firefighters. I'm pretty sure your genre is
Most.
yeah.
What workouts do we like to do together? Jake loves
Not leg day.
Jake loves all workouts with me. Because I make him do things he doesn't want to do.
Like legs?
Legs.
No, I do legs now. But
High intensity cardio.
she picks movements that I've never done before. Like bands around my knees, hip movements.
Oh,
You know, like those sideways things?
date night hip movements.
No, like the bands around your knees, and they're good.
But we just, even if we're not doing the same workout, we enjoy like working out at the same time, because when you are, it's like scientifically proven that when you're in the presence of other people exercising, you work out harder. And so even if we're not doing the same workout, we enjoy being in the same garage together.
But we did a COVID couples
Yeah.
workout for like 3 months.
Yeah. During quarantine, since we had nothing to do, we dedicated ourselves to a program, and we did that together, and that was fun.
It was fun.
And we would probably continue to do things like that if we had the time, but
Blasted children.
but now the kids have stuff again, and so we can't always work out together. Let's see. Oh, this is a great question. And please don't just make it a joke. Please do not just make this question a joke. I want to see if you even know what this means.
It's gonna be a no. My head's in the sand.
What did you think about Trader Joe's Gate? Do you get it?
Are they referring to you?
Yeah. Because you know what Pizzagate was, right?
Pizzagate? No.
Oh my gosh.
Yeah.
Somebody enlighten this guy. I told you about it.
Yeah, about
Be careful what you say because it'll get me demonetized.
Oh. The recent blasting of TJ's? You at TJ's,
yes, that's
right?
what, but she called it Trader Joe's Gate, which is funny.
Really funny.
Good one. I appreciate
Yeah.
you. What did you think about that? What did you think about people being so psychotic?
I think that's the exact reaction I would expect to people who make a Instagram or Facebook following based on Trader Joe's. I think that would be the exact reaction I would get from them.
So you
Because if your life is centered around a Trader Joe's community.
So you think I deserved that?
No, but I'm not surprised of them blowing things out of proportion at a precious Trader Joe's.
There you have it,
Did
folks.
I answer it?
That's what he thinks about.
I felt bad for you, but it's like just kind of funny.
He thought it was funny. Okay.
No, not like you were doing it. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's funny that they're like
So angry.
this evil human in their precious non-disposable organic mass in Trader Joe's. Like
that was next level.
of all the waste of a grocery store. But
What is your favorite meal? Mine is tacos.
I haven't noticed.
We eat them 3 times a week.
I love ribs because we never really eat them. So like when we do, like we go all out with the barbecue.
Special barbecue
With your
ribs.
like summer potato salad and pasta salad with ribs.
Good old
Yeah.
American meal.
Yeah, but we don't really eat it. That's why
Never.
it makes it special. So, but like a regular meal, what we make, probably the carne asada from
Costco.
Costco.
That stuff is
The
good.
tacos.
I'll wear a mask for carne asada. This is a good question. What national parks would you recommend for East Coast folks traveling west?
Ooh.
Okay, I'll start. Grand Canyon is an absolute must-see for someone who's never been out west. The mountains out here are unreal. Yosemite, another one. Bryce Canyon is so cool. The canyons are incredible. If you like hiking, Zion is another like top 5 most beautiful places out west. Those would probably be my top ones. What would you say?
I'd say if you don't mind a lot of people, Yosemite is probably the place to go.
Mm-hmm.
But if you want something a little less populated, Bryce Canyon is easier to get in and out of, and the hikes were just easier to get to.
Mm-hmm.
And a lot less traffic. The parking was easier.
Yeah.
But man, I mean,
You're gonna be wowed because
Yeah,
the West
kinda
Coast
can't
is
miss.
like nothing you've ever seen. The next one is, would you say that this season of chaos and anger in America has brought our family closer together?
I mean, I'm a little embarrassed. I just slurped my ice cream by accident.
It's okay, they forgive you.
But we try to use every like national spotlight as a bonding teaching moment for the kids.
Mm-hmm.
But it is hard to put a happy face on in front of them and tell them everything is going to be okay when you're like, I actually don't know how this is going to turn out.
Yeah.
Like, I kind of remind myself, like, well, I'm sure parents were saying that back in World War II
Yes.
and
Jake,
Vietnam and the Great Depression. but-
yes, that, why are all my lights off? Turn this on. Jake is very much comforted by thinking upon the Great Depression. I'm not sure if that comforts any of you guys. Closer together, yes, I think it's solidified for me. What I've always known is that as long as I have my family and we're together, then that's all I need, you know, all of this. But I will say that I echo what he said. It has been hard for me as a mom because if I really let my mind go, I am actually kind of terrified of the America that my kids are gonna grow up in. It actually really freaks me out. And so I have to be cognizant of that because I don't want to be like saying things that are making them afraid. But our family closer together, yeah, but it's also been a source of conflict at some points between us as well, because we handle and process things differently. And yeah, that's there. We haven't, our thoughts and opinions on things are the same, but the way that we go about executing things in this world is a little different right now, or it was. And so we actually had to have like a pretty big conversation about it just last weekend to kind of make sure we got onto the same page. So yeah. Let's see. Looking to get a large SUV. Is there anything about the Suburban that you dislike? Me, no. This is the first car I've ever owned that I love, and I've had other nice vehicles. Very grateful to have always had a reliable vehicle. With all the kids, we had a Nissan Quest minivan, then I upgraded to a Toyota Sienna minivan, then I got a Honda Odyssey. That was like the first brand new minivan that we bought, and that we had the longest. And then once they were like old enough to know not to smash into the car next to us with the doors, and we were contemplating getting a trailer, we knew we wanted to have something that could tow, and so we got a used, new to us, Suburban. We would never buy a full price one. Jake actually told me tonight that a brand new Suburban is $80,000, and that is just pure insanity. I found a just stellar deal. This car was a really good deal, and I love it.
The side mirrors are small. That's my only knock.
The side, oh, for towing, or just in general?
Yeah, I think the size of the vehicle, the side mirrors are really tiny.
Okay.
But that's it. If you care about side mirrors.
So we like the Suburban, like it a lot. I'll have this vehicle, this particular one that we're sitting in, definitely for a while. And when I'm done with it, when I'm done with it, when someone rolls up next to you and you're filming, when I'm done with the Suburban, then I will probably get another one because I really like them. The next one is, do you guys ever curse in front of the kids? My husband is so bad about this advice. I do not.
Yeah, she's pretty strict on it. Sometimes I've slipped a couple times. My running joke is like, I'll never cuss at work, but only my wife and kids can get me to cuss.
Good joke. That's funny.
No, but I try not to. Only if it's like bad day.
Yeah. The only time he ever uses profanity is when he's very angry. And he's not very angry very often. I'm very good at not doing that, but I used to have a potty mouth. I've told you guys that before. When Jake met me, I sounded like a truck driver. I was not saved. So.
I don't think you were that bad.
I was pretty bad.
No.
Yeah. Could you imagine me going through the mask thing as my former self?
Colorful.
Oh my gosh. Okay, this one's from your college buddy. What was your favorite time?
Can I know this?
It's from Will.
Oh, Will.
What was your favorite time in Gunny in college?
Oh man, the bros. That's the best time.
The friends.
Yep, the friends. Just life-changing, from moving from, you know, where I'm from to not knowing anyone to Colorado. I mean, just life-changing, impactful friendships. Just, you know, miss all those guys.
Yeah, sending them in. But I'm gonna end the video here. We're gonna go home and, like I said, make that list and then probably call it a night. So thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you're doing well, and I will see you in my next video. Bye guys.